So, in 2023, we finally get the very first Aegean Airlines Airbus A320 model in scale 500 ever made, at least that isn't a custom model. And thanks to the great prices of the F&B shop, we can today take a look at just this model. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we, as mentioned, will take a closer look at an Airbus A320-200 of Aegean Airlines. At the front of the box, we have a cutout, so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside. And on top of the box, we have the Aegean branding. The backside of the box is unfortunately yet another huge letdown from Herpa Wings, where we get another cutout which does not protect my aircraft model and makes the box look incredibly cheap. And since there is no relevant information here whatsoever, let's just skip ahead and take a look at the aircraft model itself. And here she is, the Airbus A320-200 in the current or new standard livery of Aegean Airlines. So finally we get an Airbus A320 from Aegean Airlines. So far in the past we have of course seen an A321ceo and an A321neo also in this new livery, but the last Aegean was of course a club model, so quite a few collectors missed out on it, and now they finally get the chance to get an Aegean Airlines aircraft model in the new livery. So of course we have to take a closer look at it to see if it is actually worth our money and time. And we start off our tour around the aircraft model with a look at the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the Aegean Airlines branding. On the fuselage we then have the web address of the airline, the full registration code of the aircraft, the Greek flag and the flag of the European Union. Towards the very tail of the aircraft we then also have a bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage we then have the writing of Aegean. Underneath that we have the aircraft type specification, and we also find a Star Alliance logo, of which the airline is a full member. We also have a few static ports across the fuselage, which is a very nice addition. Another very nice addition, but much more surprising, is when we look at the top of the fuselage. Now obviously the aircraft does not have physical antennas, but on this occasion we actually find an antenna at least indicated in print, which is very nice. The cockpit section itself then offers us the cockpit windows with the black mask, and because of the black mask it is a little bit difficult to see, but I would actually argue that we do have the window wipers printed here on as well. Then when we take a look at the engine nacelles, they have been given the dark blue color of the Aegean branding, have the silver leading edge printed on, as well as some safety relevant markings. Very nice. And the physical detailing of these engines is actually also very lovely, especially here also from the front, where we very nicely can see the engine fan blades. Then on the fuselage, just above the wings, we have the emergency exits printed on, and that leads us straight to the wings, which we should also take a closer look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the flap slats and spoilers carved out very nicely, and we have the markings for the emergency exits. Also, the underside of the wings offers us some lovely physical detailing, and here we also find the full registration code of the aircraft once more. Then, of course, we also have these winglets on this A320, which have this lovely dark blue color of the Aegean branding and the Aegean logo as well. But Herpa is incredibly inconsistent with these winglets, so you always have to check them. And in this case, I would say Herpa has definitely done a better job in past releases, because here one side is slightly overbent and the other one is rather wonky, so do check that out before you buy the model. Where Herpa is doing a much better and consistent job is with the main landing gear on the A320. That is the standard landing gear for all the A320 family aircraft models. The front landing gear is also consistent, but also consistently bad, as it is completely oversized and as always is missing printed details. And then last but certainly not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Airbus A320-200 in the current or new standard livery of Aegean Airlines from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500, and what can we say about this aircraft model? So let me just say, it is lovely to see an Aegean Airlines A320 in scale 500. So Herpa Wings, well done for getting the license and doing this aircraft model. And for the majority of it, Herpa has actually also done a great job with this aircraft model. Yes, even though there are some additional details in the print, I still think that there should be more details, and Herpa really needs to work on that. But the things they have added in the print, they have done so rather well. The physical detailing of the model is overall also okay. I mean, the cockpit shape on this model actually is pretty alright, at least much better than we have seen in the past. I mean, they have actually achieved making the cockpit look like that of an A320, which is not always given with Herpa Wings. Of course, we do still have the usual nonsense, so the completely oversized front landing gear and the really inconsistent winglets, which you definitely need to check before buying this model. There is also, of course, no stand with this aircraft model, but a hole in the fuselage, but at least it doesn't destroy any printed details in this case, which is why I couldn't be bothered to show you. But with all that taken into account, I still believe this is a pretty alright Scale 500 aircraft model, and I know a lot of collectors will be very excited just because it has the Aegean livery. So yes, it is worth having in one's collection, but of course there is always room for improvement. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's video. If you have enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to leave a like, and of course if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe. With that, thank you very much for watching, hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye!